AFP MMA presents Beyond the Cage Door podcast. Real people, real passion, real fights. With your host, Ryan James.
What's going on, everybody? I am your host, Ryan James. Welcome to AFP Beyond the Cage Door podcast, where we're talking to real people, real passion, and we're just going beyond the cage. And this one is exciting. It's an AFP 6 preview coming up April 25th at the Neo Sports Plant in Euclid, Ohio. This is going to be an exciting fight card. I got some of the contenders coming in here. I got some heavy hitters. I got Clinton Ewing and Juan Goins. I'm getting ready to interview here pretty soon. So stay tuned, man. It's AFP Beyond the Cage Door podcast. What's going on? I got Juan Goins in the building.
Hey.
How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. Thanks for coming on today, man. I'm excited about this show right here because this show is like coming off the AFP 5 card with all the momentum. In this AFP 6, man, I'm just looking at it. It looks exciting. It looks
Oh
exciting
yeah.
for real. Definitely, man. I'm glad you came on here today. So, Clinton's should be joining us pretty soon. Whenever you join in, we'll have him jump on. But I just want to, man, ask you, first of all, how's your day going?
Oh, so far so good. Just had some breakfast, feeling good. Had a good sparring session yesterday, so I'm feeling really good actually.
Nice. Where are you from, Juan?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. You know what? I'm from Mansfield, so we sit right in the middle of Cleveland
Yeah.
and Columbus. One thing I always tell people about Cleveland, like when it comes to traveling 71, give me 71 North all day.
All day.
Yeah.
Yep.
All day. Like I love traveling to Cleveland. For some reason, it's an easier drive for me. It's more smoother. I don't have a lot of issues, and I can't stand 71 South. Just like get me out
Yep.
of there.
No. Yeah, no, for real.
Sweet, man. So coming into AFP 6, first off, is this your first AFP fight with the promotion?
Yes, it's the first time ever fighting under AFP, so I'm really excited.
So what are some of the other fight promotions you fought for or fought under?
I fought for WFC, BCM, Made Men. Correction, I didn't fight for BCM. I was supposed to a couple times, but some injuries and stuff like that. But other than that, Cage Thunder, I fought for Cage Thunder as well. So yeah, a couple promotions under my belt.
What have you been hearing so far about AFP?
Nothing but good things. I know you guys put on a hell of a show. There's always heavy hitters on there, some exciting fighters. You guys match up people pretty good, so I'm excited to be on it.
Nice. And it's, I'm telling you, man, it's just and we were talking, like me, Dave, and everybody were talking about the excitement about how everybody likes coming out, the ring come out. You got the the lights, the spark, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
time. And so I think what they've been focusing on doing is making that crazier. So
Okay. Yeah. I mean, theatrics, you can't go wrong with more theatrics. So
you cannot go wrong with that. Right. So, let's just jump right into it, man. First of all, when was your last fight?
my last fight was Thanksgiving's Eve last year. So right before Thanksgiving was perfect. Got to finish the fight and go eat. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, you had a nice workout going on. Right.
Oh yeah.
You bring a unique energy into the cage, my man. What flips that switch for you when it comes down to fight night?
I didn't know till recently. My coach, he told me that alter ego of Go Hard Goins. You know, there's Juan Goins and then there's Go Hard Goins. Something about
I like
walking
that.
through that tunnel, something switches because everybody's nervous backstage. You know, you got the butterflies. Did I train hard enough? Did I do this? Did I cover all grounds during my training? And then once you walk down that tunnel, it's just the alter ego flips. Like Go Hard Goins is here to do what he does. So that's what
Go
does it for me.
hard goings. I love that. Yeah, man, that's gonna stick. Go hard goings, for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, how do you see first of all your opponent, Clinton Ewing? Like, what do you know so much about him right now so far?
I know he's 1-0 right now as a pro.
Okay.
I know he's very crafty and tricky on the ground. I just know we got to be prepared everywhere. I consider him very dangerous. So that actually excites me too. It's like someone that can finish a fight. I think in his amateur career, he had a couple finishes. So
Mm.
that's something to be aware of too. So just I respect him. I think he's a very game opponent and excited to put on a show with the guy.
Nice, nice. And uh one thing about, because on this show, on this podcast, we have a thing where, I ask fighters what do they think the outcome gonna be, and like first round knockout, second round. But what I found out is shout out to my man CJ Parker from the last fight. CJ, we did some stuff on an interview and was just get and CJ had missed my first interview. And so he took some things, man, and was like some feedback. And he went to that ring and was like, yeah, remember when you said how's it gonna feel if you get a first round knockout? And he was like, yeah, he said, so I'm gonna ask you the other question. I'm like, oh man. CJ is that guy had it was just a different thing to get the feedback from the fighters, and me myself as a podcast host, it really made me be like, that's cool to sit there and have this dialogue with all you guys before you get in that ring and get to
Oh
know
yeah.
you. And that's what I love about this podcast, man, because it's going to be a great fight, you and Clinton, and
Oh yeah.
I just really feel that at the end of the day, it just it helps you get to another level when you're fighting somebody just as competitive, or if you've seen him knock a guy out in 16 seconds, or if he's seen you knock the guy out and it's like, but you thinking like, I'm gonna just go in there and do it. And a lot of times when that fight happened, man, the results be like,
Yeah, and that's what's beautiful about the sport. Just anything can happen. I mean, you got grown men throwing small gloves as hard as they can on each other. So for me, I don't really predict things. I'm always ready for a 3-round war. I train
yeah,
for it to go the distance. Am I trying to get the finish? Of course.
yeah,
I want that 16 seconds and make it an easy night. Go home and go eat. I would love
right,
that. But we're in the pros now, and there's no easy fights. There's no gimme fights. So everybody's game. Everybody's training hard. So I got to be prepared for that, and that's what I do. I prepare for a war.
not, and that's nice. That's nice about that when you're in the pros, because like nothing is unexpected.
Right.
Pros is just like it is what it is. It's going to like you're dealing. Everybody's professional. We know how to do this.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
so what fighting gym are you coming out of?
I'm at a Rising Dragon MMA. We're based out of Cleveland.
Okay, okay. And what's the thing about this training camp that you're in currently right now? What is it teaching you about yourself as a fighter, like for the duration when you've been in this fight camp?
Really just letting me know how good I actually am. I mean, since I was a kid, I've been talking about becoming a professional fighter. I've been
Okay.
laughed at that I can't, and now I'm here. So it's almost
Right,
like a
right.
dream. So for the most part, I'm just enjoying it, man. I know I got the tools to be something special in the sport. I know I got a lot to give in the sport. I still have a lot to learn as well too. But this fight camp, I'm just enjoying the ride, man. I'm having fun. I feel confident. Even on the hard days where I may not have put my best foot forward. I'm still feeling good and like, yo, we're here now. We made it. We're not done, but we're exactly where we said we were gonna be. So just enjoying it, man.
Right, right. I like that. I like that, man. So, what's one thing fans don't know about you that they should know before AFP 6?
Um, that they don't know, I'm pretty open on my social media, but if you didn't know, I'm a father of five. I'm a full-time police officer. So yeah, my my
Oh,
day's pretty packed.
your day is
Um,
packed.
oh yeah, all the time, man. I mean, between just working 12 hours a day in itself and then giving a little piece of me to all five of them. So it's juggling that. So I guess that's what I consider special about me, a full-time police officer and a
Yeah.
father of five.
Wow. And I want to take that question another step because we talk beyond the cage. We go that extra mile. What being a father of five and a full-time police officer and being a professional MMA fighter, like what between those things alone, like outside of that, man, what is the driving force that puts you in that cage? You know what I mean? Every fight card that creates you to just keep going. I mean, you got five kids, you're a full-time police officer. What is it that makes you when you're inside that cage to say, this is me, this is my arena, like this is what I live for? What makes that happen?
I think my mom gave me the answer a few months back to that question. It's funny you mention it. I consider myself decently successful in life. You know, I don't have to go in and do this. But my mom said I always did things that scared me. Wrestling when I was a kid scared me.
Yeah.
I started boxing a little early. It scared me. I like to do things. I didn't know this about myself till she said it. I guess I like to do things that scare me. Getting in that cage is terrifying to me. The minute I put ink to paper for a contract, I get butterflies. Like I
Mm,
am scared, but also that fear, it drives me to be my best self. Because I'm a pretty laid back guy. I say to
yeah.
myself, I don't like confrontation at all. I know hard to believe because I'm a fighter, but
Yeah.
I don't like confrontation at all. I don't like I just like being in my own bubble. But something about stepping out there that goes, hey, there's someone trying to take your head off. It's fight or flight. Literally fight or
Ooh,
flight.
yeah.
So I guess just the fear, something that scares me, that makes me bring the best out of myself. That's what keeps me going. And the high of it. I mean, I'd be lying if
Oh
I
yeah.
said I didn't
Oh yeah.
enjoy fans, podcasts like this,
Yeah. Yeah.
people
Yeah.
yelling your name. Yeah, that's that high, man. I tell you, the day after a fight, it's very hard to go back to work. It's like, man, I, I had the world, in my hands. Now I'm punching a clock again. But, uh,
Right.
but
I'm
yeah,
I'm looking over the ring, people screaming my
yeah,
name and all that, and then it's back
yeah,
to
I love that too. But yeah, I just the fear of something that I guess doing something that scares me brings the best out of me. It makes me, and regardless if it's at work, going to a call that's high risk. I'm got to perform at my best at work. Being a dad is frightening every single day. Am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? Am I
yes,
spoiling it?
yes.
Things that scare me allow me to step up to the plate and go, all right, we got to put our best foot forward. So
You're right.
I
I
guess
like
just
that, man.
the fear of it. Yeah.
I like that. What ages are your kids?
I got two step kids and three
Okay.
biological, but they're all mine. My two
Yeah.
little ones are both five, so I got two 5 year
Mhm.
olds running around.
Yeah.
My boy is 7. He'll be 7 next month.
Yeah.
My daughter
Uh,
just turned 8 last year, and
uh,
then my oldest will be 11.
wow,
Yeah,
that's
so
a nice bunch right there. That's a nice space. I got my two. They spaced out like from 12 years apart. So
oh man, yeah,
my oldest is 26 and my youngest is 13.
oh
So
man, well, not too bad.
you know what I mean. So it's
Yeah,
always like big
at least they could all like hang out with each other still. Nobody's like,
oh yeah,
leave me alone. So they stay tight. So
yeah, and then, of course they collaborate on what gets on their nerves about dad.
oh
It's
yeah,
good
all the time.
collaboration. They always go at it. So, tell me as we get to the bottom end of the few questions I have for you, man. What's the atmosphere like in the locker room when you're in there with your teammates that are fighting on the same card? Any of your teammates fighting on this card also?
Yes, my buddy Chris, he's fighting on the card too. It's his first amateur MMA fight. He has a lot of good boxing experience. So this is the first
Mhm.
time me and him have been on a card. So I've been on the card with teammates before, and it's
Mhm.
always I rather have it that way. There's somebody that not only throughout the fight camp understands what you're going through, but on the day of the fight, it kind of eases those nerves. I'm not in it alone because when you make that walk, for me, it's sometimes the loneliest walk. You kind of, oh man,
Yes.
it's me. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you think, what am I doing? But then the cage closes and you're like, yeah, this is what I'm here for.
This
But
is what I'm
yeah,
here for.
exactly. The backstage atmosphere though with a teammate, I love it. It's
Nice.
and it shows, this guy's at his peak, you're at your peak. You showed all the hard work both of you have done over the whole training camp. So I prefer fighting with teammates on the same card. I love it.
I like that. I like that, man. And my last question for you is, what's the moment you're chasing on April 25th? The finish, the performance, or the growth from everything?
um a combination of the performance and growth because this is my first time fighting under pro rules, so I want to see what I can do with the extra 2 minutes of time to work. I want to see, am I able to display my new weapons that I got, um and just and taking from it, win, lose or draw, I'm gonna learn from it. Like I said, we're here, but we're not finished. So the goal is actually obviously world class.
Mhm.
Get a world class strap on me, but
Yes, yes.
yeah. So we're gonna learn from this and keep going. Obviously, I want the win. I'm
Yeah,
going for the win. I'm gunning for the
yeah.
win. But
Uh-huh.
I'm even with a win, I'm gonna grow from it, and I'm one of those that likes to critique my performance. I can have a flawless one. I'm still gonna find something wrong with it and something to go back to
Yeah.
the camp and work on it. So yeah, just the growth and my performance. I'm excited to see what I can do.
I like that. I like that, man. Any shout outs you want to give out, man?
Oh, a few of them. Tobias Freight Train Taylor. He's my main training partner, friend, coach. The guy has elevated my game for 10 plus years, man. He's been in my corner, giving me life advice, fighting advice, always there to push me the extra level. Alonzo Harvey, Taiwan. Those are my main coaches. Uh, they've been with me since I was a kid, too. Love those guys to death. John McGinnis, another big, he got me my first fight ever.
Nice. Nice.
So shout out to John. Sinisa Jovic, my boy from Serbia, the Serbian sniper.
Uh-huh.
I miss you, bro. Hope you come back to the States soon. He's another great guy to push me. And
Yeah.
the whole Rising Dragon team, really. Love
Nice.
you guys and been with them since, like I said, since I was a kid.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Juan, go hard, Goins. Go hard, Goins on AFP Beyond the Cage Door podcast. April 25th, he will be fighting Clinton Ewing at AFP 6 and the Neo Sports Plant in Euclid, Ohio. It is going down.
Yes, sir.
Juan, I will be in the building also doing a pre-fight podcast, man. So I will be in the area. So come, you see me, come get with me, man. We'll sit down, chop it up in person. And I look
Definitely,
forward
definitely.
to it, man. And much luck for you on that night, man. And success to both of you guys in the future. And as the fighters, man, I'm excited. And
Yes, sir. Thank you.
yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast, man. And I will see you April 25th, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Take care. Shout out to Juan Go Hard Goings, man. That guy, good guy. You know what I'm saying? It's first fight since Thanksgiving, and it's going to be exciting. He's facing Clinton Ewing, and it's going to be great, man. Once again, AFP 6, April 25th at the Sports Plant in Euclid in Cleveland, Ohio. It's going to be an exciting event, and I can't wait for it to go down, man. It's you guys. Much energy is going to be at that, man. Shout out to everybody at AFP. Everybody, pretty much who's a part of this, awesome event. Shout out to all the matchmakers. Nicole Castillo, Kayla Kipp, shout out to Michelle Crane, the whole AFP team, Dave Yaney, Brian Six, my man Jay Davis, like just great team. It's a great, awesome team to be around and to do work with, man. And they all just handle business, man. And I've been excited, to really jump into this AFP Beyond Occasional podcast and really help support this rising production and this rising fighting production and MMA, you know, just it's great. It's great, great, great. So you guys don't want to miss this once again, April 25th, AFP 6, you know, put on by American Fight Promotions. Man, it's gonna be awesome. So next up, um, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get Clinton Ewing, but next up is gonna I'm looking at and Montana Roberts and Ronald Castaneda, which are two more contestants coming on. And just, so stay tuned, man. It's AFP Beyond the Cage Door podcast with your host, Ryan James. All right. Welcome back to AFP Beyond the Cage Door podcast. I am your host, Ryan James, and I'm here with one of our next contestants up for AFP 6, April 25th, and this is for the amateur middleweight title fight. And I'm here with Montana Roberts. How you doing, Montana?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh man, not bad, not bad. Are you enjoying this weather? Would you say spring's officially here?
I sure hope so. I thought it was a few times, and it's been faking me out. So I don't want to
Don't jinx it,
say
right?
anything too fast and have it go straight back to snowing again.
Right, right. Where are you from, Montana?
I'm originally from Michigan, but I've lived in just about the Toledo, Swanton area for about the last 12-ish years.
Right. So how do you feel when you say you're originally from Michigan and you deal with a bunch of Ohio people?
It doesn't really bother me. I don't really identify as being from Michigan. That was so long ago. It's just people ask where you're from. Sometimes they really want to know where you were. So I get both clarifications. I'm basically from Ohio, but that's where I was born, Michigan.
I like it. I like that. You know what? Ain't
I'd
nothing
rather
wrong
rep
with it.
Ohio.
I got a lot of family in Detroit myself. It's just I think it's a love-hate relationship with Ohio and Michigan
Yeah.
beyond the team up north. Sweet, man. So is this your first AFP fight card?
First AFP fight card?
Yeah, that you're on.
No, this will be my third.
Nice, nice. So your third AFP fight card. So
Mhm.
kind of like something, you've been a part of, what I mean, because they've only had this is probably 6, what I mean? Like since we just had our year anniversary, that last fight we were did in Newark. So out of fighting for them for 3 different fight cards, tell me, what do you think about AFP in this promotion?
I've had the benefit of being in a couple of different promotions, so I have some comparative knowledge. But AFP holds itself very professionally in comparison. They make sure the fighters look professional. They want you to feel like a fighter. They want you to have fun. They want it to be fun for the spectators. They definitely make it a performance, and they put a lot of work into making it a spectacle. They don't want it to be half-assed, for lack of a better term, in any of the areas around. You know what I mean?
Right.
They really put their effort in where it needs to be to make sure everyone feels appreciated. The crowd, the fighters, the even the commission and stuff. The way they handle it's just a lot cleaner. A couple of the other places, especially with the last place we went, you guys did Cherry Valley.
Yes.
That place, I fought there before for a different promotion, and I think AFP just handled it a lot better. The walkouts were a lot better. I had to walk through the crowd when I walked out there the first time. So when I saw they had actually a nice walkout, the fireworks, everything like that, it's all great. It just,
Yeah.
I think they do a whole better job of making it feel like an actual nice fight night.
I like that, man. I like that. Appreciate that feedback, man. And where do you think I'll take it another step further. So what do you think the promotion has the ability to grow as far as what do you think the future can look like for them?
With how they've improved in just 6 cards, I think that they could go pretty big with this. I think this promotion could be one of the best in the country if they really wanted to. I mean, they're already up there for
Yes.
this regional area, as far as I'm concerned. They hold good fights and they've got good names coming in. They got good guest commentators. They got good pros fighting. They're able to get good matchups. They got good matchmakers. So I think
Nice.
they've got all the tools if they really want to expand what they've got going. But
You're right.
will it? I've got no idea, but I sure hope it does.
Nice, nice, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for that, man. I'm sure that comments like that really lights Dave's heart up. You know what I mean? Because that's a good
Yeah.
guy, and the whole team. But thanks for that. So let's talk about our upcoming fight with Ronald Castaneda. So far, what do you know about your opponent?
We've looked at I've looked at some footage. I've looked at some of his fights, his record. As far as personally, not much. Just down to the bare bones of how he fights, who he's fought, his
Right.
record. Just looking at it statistically rather than personally.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So let's talk about your preparation for this fight.
Mhm.
So, what part of your preparation has been the most challenging getting ready for this upcoming AFP 6 fight? And
I would. Oh, sorry.
no, you're fine. Go ahead.
I would say it's probably just a general workload. Being that it's a title fight, the expectation is higher. So I've probably trained the most for this fight, obviously, out of any fight that I've trained. So I get to the point where it's like I get like an hour out of my day before I go to sleep. So it's just the amount of time you really have to put in trying to balance an amateur career training for a title fight. So how hard you have to train with your everyday work and stuff. The hardest aspect really is the time crunch, having to put in those hours. Not necessarily the actual work, but just being committed to showing up for that amount of time and always being there for when you need to be there.
Right, right. Definitely understand that. What do you think separates you from others in the amateur middleweight division?
To be honest, not a whole lot. When it comes to at the amateur level, it comes down to who's willing to put in the work,
Right,
who's got the athleticism, and who's got the fight IQ. Some people have that athleticism, and some people have the skill, but they just aren't confident in their abilities. When they get in there, they're just not able to put their foot on the gas. Some people are an amazing fighter, but that doesn't mean that they can show up and perform every time. I think
right.
I've just been lucky enough to be able to show up and perform as best as I can every time, and it's worked out fairly well for me. Um, so I think what separates me is more so the confidence I have going in there, not necessarily just confidence in general, but in my stand up. I know I come out and I fight the way I train, and I train the way I want to fight. So
I like that. I like that. What would you say the most the biggest thing that fans who've seen you fight, what do you think, what do you say the biggest thing they would probably say about you that fans have seen your past fights and like and your style in the ring?
that guy hits hard.
That guy hits hard. I love it, man. I love it. So, after this fight, win, lose, or draw, right? AFP 6, April 25th, at the Neo Sports Plant in Cleveland, well, in Euclid, Ohio, in Cleveland. Win, lose, or draw. What's next?
Um, well, we're also looking at the next AFP card, bearing it's not too close, bearing the results of this one.
Okay.
Win, loss, or draw, some suspension bearing issues. But if it's not too close, I'd like to get on that one. It's a little closer to home, get some more
Yeah.
people there, gets another fight in this year. And then after that, I need to take a couple months off later this year. I've been in camp and camp and camp. I've been really struggling to find opponents, so it's just constantly in a camp, no opponent, in a camp, no opponent. So since my last fight early next year, I've just been in camp to camp to camp, a little break, camp, camp, camp. So I need a couple months off just to settle some stuff. So hopefully hop in this next card after this one, take a couple
Yeah.
months off, and we'll see about the end
I,
of the year.
I heard that. I heard that. What do you do when you're not fighting in the ring?
Really, I just work and spend time with my fiance, and then maybe occasionally I get time by myself in my home. I might play a game or two, Arc
Mhm.
Raiders, something like that,
Yeah, yeah.
But I like I said, I work so much that I usually go straight from work to the gym, run, do our classes, another class, and then I get home 30-40 minute drive. So I get home just about 9 o'clock, and I turn in about 10:30, 11. So after I eat, not a lot of time to do much. So I really don't get to do much other than work and train. So
You know,
when I
what
can.
what's the driving force, for you when we talk about, beyond the cage door? And I always ask people, and we go a little bit deep, like, what's the driving force behind you being a fighter?
I've always just really enjoyed being a part of the sport, and training has always been fun for me. I was always somebody who didn't really feel like I belonged anywhere, didn't really have any great skills to speak of. I didn't have anything sticking out that I felt like really shined when people looked at me. I just felt like everybody else. And when I started doing MMA, a lot of people didn't really bat an eye. Nobody really cared.
Right.
But the more I did it, the more people started to pay attention, and the more people actually kind of like finally gave me that, like, okay, maybe you can do this recognition. Um, so what drives me is like the more I kind of stick my nose down into it, the more I feel the love I have for the sport, and the more people actually kind of recognize the work I put in over these past couple of years. Because for the longest time, it was just me saying, I'm gonna be a fighter. I don't know if I'll fight forever. I don't know if I'll be the greatest fighter. I don't know if I'll be a professional. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I will be a fighter, and I will fight my best, and I will do what I do, and this training won't go to waste. And a lot of people doubted me, but
Yeah,
that doubt fuels some fire.
that's right. I like that. I like that, Montana. Last, man, any shout outs you want to give?
I just to my gym and the people I work with. Honestly, my gym is really, it's a core for me. Without them, I don't think I would be the fighter that I am, and I definitely don't think I would put on the performances I do. The preparation and the things that I don't think that I might need or I would never have considered. Adamas Jiu Jitsu, great gym. If you're in the
Mhm.
Toledo area, amazing, great experience, world class. Dante Leon, amazing. Max Hansen, great. We have a crazy experience to learn from. My coach Kelly Highmore is an amazing coach. He cares about us, and he really shows. These coaches don't get paid at this level, so the fact that they're able to put in the love and the care and the effort they do to help us out to that extent is honestly, it's insane.
Nice, nice, man. Montana Roberts, man, thanks for coming on AFP Beyond the Cage Door podcast. I will see you, man, April 25th. I will be down in the building podcasting live, man. So you see me, man, stop by and meet it. We can chat in person, man. But much luck to you on the
Thank you,
25th,
man.
and looking forward to seeing you, man.
Yeah, I hope I see you there. We'll see you April 25th. Hope it goes great. Going to be a great fight night. Hopefully, it's going to be a banger. I'm hoping to come out and just do some fun things, win, loss, or draw. I really want to put on a performance. That's the thing that matters to me the most, is that the fans are happy. So I hope I see you there. I hope I see everyone there. I hope it's fun. Thank you
Nice,
for having
man. Well, I will see you. All right, man. Thanks for coming on the show again, Montana.
me. Yes, sir.
All right. Connor, you there?
Hey, how are you?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain.
Thanks for coming on, man. How's your day going so far?
Oh, not too bad. Saturdays are normally like a sparring day, or it's one of my heavier training days. So got that done and got back and hopped on here with you.
Hey, man, I love it, man. I definitely love it. How? Where are you from? First off,
I live in Waterford, PA, but I fight out of a gym in Geneva, Ohio, under Cody Lewis.
nice, nice. And I see Logan has joined us. Logan, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. The gang's all here, man. Thanks for coming on AFP Beyond the Cage Door podcast. I am your host, Ryan James, and we are talking AFP 6, April 25th in Euclid, Ohio, at the sports plant in Cleveland. And I'm here with Logan Thompson and Connor Cyphert. These guys are going to be getting on for the professional super middleweight belt. It's going down. It's going to be exciting. So let's just get right into it, man. And I'll just kind of shoot rapid fire questions at both of you, but Logan, from what the research I've did, I hear about your fight IQ, and I've heard about you showing flashes of high fight IQ, like upon your last bouts. What approach do you got going into this when it comes to your opponent?
I don't know if this is like, I don't think I ever necessarily go into any fight preparing for my opponent specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I think I more or less just go about my game plan, focus on what are the possibilities of what he's going to do with my game plan. I just feel like
Right.
worrying about what he's going to do doesn't really do me a lot. Like, I have an idea of him. I mean, I know he has an idea of me. I mean, we're literally from the same town. We've trained together before.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't think we do anything similar to what we used to do either. So I think it would be silly to like focus on that. But yeah, I think when I go into it, I go in with my game plan, and if that doesn't work, then I adjust later.
Nice. I like that. So you guys have familiarity with each other.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Connor, you bring a lot of intensity to yourself in the ring. What does that mindset? So very intensity, like a lot of intensity when it comes to the ring. So what does that mindset for you look behind the scenes? Is it just you're an intense person, or is that your ring mentality?
Uh, honestly, I mean, I'd say I'm a pretty laid back person from like day
Mhm.
to day.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know, there's something about the competition, not necessarily just stepping in the cage, but whether it's a jujitsu match or anything
Right.
like that, it's just, anybody that's competed in anything like combat or wrestling, there's kind of a
Mhm.
little switch that you got to turn on. And, I think that that's kind of what it is for me. I don't really realize it. It's just one of those things that kind of happens, but
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm a very like intense person day to day and very high energy. I would like to think that I'm pretty laid back. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. I like that. So, with AFP American Fight Promotions, I'm going to ask both you guys: is this your first fight card with American Fight Promotions? I'll start with you, Logan.
Yes. I was gonna say I know I've fought in Ohio a few times, but I don't think I've fought for this organization
Okay.
specifically.
What have you heard so far about American Fight Promotions and pretty much what you've seen?
Not a lot. But I
Okay.
mean, I do see Nicole posting a lot, and I have seen posts before, so I shouldn't say not a lot, but I mean, like, I don't really like necessarily, I guess, like watch a lot of not smaller promotions, but I guess like local promotions. I got like unless
Yeah.
my fighters, like my specific guys, are fighting on the promotion. I guess I'm not really going out and looking for promotions and everything like that. But I do follow Nicole, so I have seen her post before, and I think it's
Nice.
just you guys have an idea of how to broadcast better. Obviously, like I'm on a podcast right now before the fight. I
Right.
think this only happened one other time before one of my fights, so I think just a lot more care gets put into it. Clearly,
Nice. Connor, how about you?
So yeah, this will be my first fight through AFP. Um, yeah, I mean, kind of the same idea is just like you guys are very prevalent on social media, so it's just easy to see you guys. I know some of the fighters that have been on your guys' cards, so
Yeah.
I get to see those things. Um, I believe a couple of the commentators, Nikolai, who's done
Mhm.
some commentating for you. I know him. Him and my coach are really good friends. So like
Mhm.
having him on social media and seeing you guys and the production just seems great. And kind of what Logan said, obviously you guys run it pretty professional if we're on here on a podcast and you guys
Yeah. Yeah.
care about getting your name out there and getting the fighter's perspective. I think it's big. I think that this, and I've said this about one other promotion, but I really think that this is the stuff that kind of mends the bigger middle grade promotions to these like local promotions where it's like, I fought through promotions where you show up and they hardly take pictures and you just show up there and you fight, right? Like you do that. This is a good middle ground between like wanting to go to the bigger stages, and it's not such a culture shock whenever you go, you get on like an LFA card or anything like that. Like it seems like you guys run a pretty professional promotion. So to me, I think it's a very good integration of getting used to showing up on bigger stages, hopping on here, doing questions and
Oh yeah.
and things like that. I'm super excited about it. So.
Nice. Nice. Appreciate that. Logan, what's the biggest lesson of you learned in your MMA journey so far?
I guess learning different avenues on how to stay humble, I guess. Um, Trying to be a fighter, being in the fight game, all those silly things that people say to like make themselves feel cool about it. Like reminding myself that I never got into this to like feel cool or like I really didn't even get into it to make money. I don't really care about the whole money part. Like the whole point was to like prove to myself like the athlete that I think I am and to like prove to myself that I am a professional athlete, how far I think I can make things go when I put my full care into something, I guess. So just working on staying humble and focusing on just doing my basics. If I can stick to my basics and I can stick to just the way that I do things, I don't really see a lot of things stopping me from that.
Right. I like that. Connor, I'll ask you the same question. What's your biggest lesson in your MMA journey you've learned so far?
I think for me, being able to face hardship and like continue to like move forward. Um, for me, going out there and the few losses and like being able to set my ego aside and be like, what can I do better to be, a better mixed martial artist? And I'll jump right on the tail wagon with Logan. I think it's super important to um stay humble and just like be a student of the game. And I think it's an important thing to me because I mean, it's hard to have an ego when I'm getting beat up in the gym every week. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
like
Right.
you you just got to get in there and be the best person you can be. And I think that's the crucial thing that I had to learn. Is that win, lose, or draw, like I guess to rephrase that, like in the gym, it's not about like I'm not like trying to win or lose these sparring matches. Like I just want to be better. So I want to participate in my training, put the work into my training to like be better. Even if I tell people all the time, and some of the guys that I help coach, like if I never fought in the cage again or made money to fight, I don't think I could live my life without training MMA. It's just like a
Wow.
very big part of my life. And that's the mentality I try to have, even stepping into fights. It's just I love it. It's not about the fame or money. I don't know anything about any of that. I just know that I enjoy to fight. So.
Nice, nice. What do you guys have any other fighters in your part of your gyms that's fighting on this card? Connor, I'll ask you first.
I don't have anybody from Hells and Gracie Combat Club, but I have a couple guys that I cross train with out of Upgrade who are on the card.
Okay.
Chris and yeah, but nobody from my gym.
Okay. Okay. Logan, anybody fighting from your gym on this card as well?
Nope, nobody from my gym either. There's a few of my guys that are fighting earlier in the month, but those are just kickboxing fights. So nobody on this card.
Nice, nice. So, as we get down to the bottom end of the questions, I just want to ask you guys, one of the things I always talk about when we talk about Beyond the Cage Door podcast is what gives the fighters the grit and the courage to continue to get in that ring night after night, card after card, and even with the training. What's the motivation behind it? Logan, I'll start with you.
Um, I mean, probably like honestly, it was my dad. Like, growing up, I wrestled my whole life. When I was 4 years old, my dad was a wrestling coach. I never really felt like I got to where I should have been as a wrestler. I always felt like I was always focused on baseball or focused on football, and I never like focused on that sport. And I always felt like I like got to the point where I almost felt like I was doing it for him and not for myself. So I think I kind of like lost my track of mind to like how good I could be in that sport because I was so just not as focused. So I think finally being focused on something that me and my dad were in love with growing up. I always loved MMA. Kind of how I actually met my coach from the gym when I started. He was good friends with my dad. I was like 9 or 10 years old, went down to his basement, saw a fight for the first time. And I just like immediately, as I watched his fights, I was like, wow, like the way that I wrestle, I was like, would immediately translate into like what they do. I was like, they're just shooting single legs. They shoot high crotches. I was like, they're doing body locks against the fence. I was like, that's all stuff that like I like to do because I was always a bigger wrestler. So I never did the high crotches. I never did the short ankle picks. I never did any of the fun fancy stuff. I always did the short exchanges. So like seeing that in MMA, like that is what is successful. That is what guys have to do. So I was like immediately like, as long as I guess I can get punched in the face and I can take a punch, I think I'm going to be successful in that. So that was honestly has always been my driving force. And then when I lost my dad, I think it just like grew something in me to like want me to like dedicate my life to this. Like I just became very easy to me after I lost him that like I felt like I had a void, but once like I became a better dad, like that void was filled through being a dad, and then I felt healthy, I felt clear minded, so like being able to open myself up to something as dangerous as MMA, I was like, I just think I'm ready now, and it just kind of all seemed to like work out weirdly.
I like that, man. I like that, man. Connor, how about you?
I think for me, I grew up in a wrestling family, but I chose a different path. When I was younger, I didn't really take it as seriously. I chose to follow a path that got me into some trouble, and I quit a lot of sports because of it, and other things became important, and I messed my life up pretty good. But my brother, he wrestled and he ended up going D1, and I always kind of lived in that like I coulda,
Yeah,
woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know what
yeah,
I mean? He went D1. I wrestled as well until I quit and like I was following a different path. So I think whenever I got my act together and I cleaned my life up around it would have been about 7 years ago.
mhm,
Um, I had to do some work, but eventually I got to a point where I had this itch for like a competitive edge that I wanted to I needed to scratch that itch, and I had knew a couple people that were doing MMA, and I just like went down to the gym and fell in love with it, man. And I think I went from filling that void with chemical dependency and
mhm.
all that shit to
Yeah, yeah.
doing this. And I don't know, man. It's just the motivation is to be the person that I felt like I robbed myself that I could have been. And I'm kind of
I
like
love that,
I'm
man.
I'm kind of at a point now where like I've accepted that shit. It's no longer like proving to myself that I'm a better person, but like now
Right.
it's just like I'm not fulfilled. Like
That's right.
there's always a better version of myself that I'm chasing, and I don't know, maybe there'll be a day where I'm no longer chasing it, but I'm
Hey,
still
man.
waking up each day and chasing.
Sheesh, I feel that 100%. It's because it's like when you're chasing that person, and it's like you want to be like, okay, and you start seeing the difference, the change, and you want to be like, am I done? And you're like, man, no, I could be better. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, I want to thank both of you guys for coming on the podcast. First off, I want to have you guys both go through any shout outs. Connor, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I just want to shout out my training partners. I want to shout out the people of the Helson Gracie Combat Club out at Spire. My coach is Cody Lewis. I want to shout out my boxing coach, Drew McNair. And shout out to my guys at the Oasis MMA Academy for pushing me to be a better person. And shout out to my girlfriend, my family, and all the love and support they give me.
Sweet. Logan, shout outs for you.
Yeah, my coaches, Brad Gardner, Jay Brown, Jeremy Sakuda at Three Elements, BJJ and MMA. I've been with these guys for like 10 years now. It's just kind of seems like a family now, so I definitely have to shout them out. I also want to shout out the two guys that are fighting earlier in April, Elias Buell and I'm gonna forget his name right now. But I have another guy. I'll remember his name whatever. Now I have to make a post online because now I feel bad. Joe Cummings. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Other boy Joe. I said they're both doing kickboxing fights. I think it's 4/10 April, so I'll shout them out, and then I'll just end on shouting out my beautiful wife and my kids. You know what I mean? Because that's pretty much the only reason why I still feel like I can keep doing everything that I do. So
Sweet, man. I love it. April 25th, AFP 6 for the professional super welterweight belt. Logan Thompson and Connor Cyphert will be going head to head. Guys, much luck to both of you guys in the ring. I will be on site April 25th doing pre-fight interviews and post-fight interviews because I'll run and catch you. I'll find you come out that ring. I'll track you down. And but I'm looking forward. Hopefully, if you guys see me down there, stop by the booth, man, and we can interview personally. I would like to meet you guys, and I love it when people come on this podcast and I can kind of get to know the people that's going to be in the ring and really in there giving out their grit and their everything, before we hit it. And that's what we kind of like to do beyond the cage. But I thank you guys for coming on. And April 25th, man, much luck and look for seeing you there.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity, man. Can't wait to meet you.
All right, man. See you guys later. Have a good one.
See ya.
See ya.
Yep. Bye. All right. All right, sweet. That was awesome. We just pretty much wrapped up today's episode of AFP Beyond the Cage Door podcast, and we had some great guests. We had Juan Go Hard Goins, and we had my man Montana Roberts, and we just got done with Connor Cyphert and Logan Thompson. Man, AFP 6 is going to be going down in a major way, and I can't wait. And it's going to be definitely big. Once again, you guys see the QR on the screen. AFP 6 is going to be April 25th in Euclid, Ohio, at the Neo Sports Plant in Cleveland. So it's going to be dope. It's going to be a dope event. Once again, shout out to everybody at AFP and everybody responsible for making this happen. Dave Yaney and the team. Man, it's AFP 6, Beyond the Cage Door podcast. I thank you guys for coming on. It's Ryan James signing out. Peace.
AFP MMA presents Beyond the Cage Door podcast. Real people, real passion, real fights. With your host, Ryan James.